Hand sanitizers.
Hand sanitizer.
Right.
Mark it down. Mark it down.
Let's give him a little bit of context. I was washing my hands. So my wife and baby are sick. So trying to be germ free, trying to keep people safe and healthy, right? And I was washing my hands, and Phil asked for a hand sanitizer. I said, you can use the old fashioned way and just wash your hands, right? Yeah.
And I said, "What's that?"
Did you really say that? No, okay.
He was about to stop the podcast. Wait a minute. We need to stop.
No, I just don't recall that part. So,
No.
but yeah, I brought up the point that maybe is this a I don't know if it's a millennial thing, but maybe like this Gen Z thing. Is there going to be a point where kids are now going to be using hand sanitizers more than they wash hands? Right?
Yeah. And I this is my question, right?
What's up?
Who do you think uses more hand sanitizers? People now between the age of 25 and 35, or between the age of, let's say, 18 to 25? Who uses hand sanitizer more?
25 to 35.
Okay. So I think that goes back to your point. It's more our generation.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the next generation is
using it as much.
They
use it more than the generation before us.
Correct.
But they're not on the level that just because we've had it around for longer years than they've been around.
That's true. And it came out when we were adults.
No, it came out when we were like teenagers.
Really?
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer?
It's been around for a while.
I
would say
my whole high school.
Teenagers? I don't know if it was.
Yeah,
teenagers,
I never heard hand sanitizer.
Yeah. I think
it wasn't that popular, but it was there.
Did you use hand sanitizer in high school? Even once?
I could. I don't remember that clearly, but I'm not saying high school. It could be like 18, 19.
College? Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's probably when it started coming out.
Yeah.
Sanitizer. Yeah.
So if we had just started using it in college, I was just assuming like it probably came out a year or two before that you started using it. So.
You think people like younger kids are not using it because the whole scare of the whole superbugs and it kills all the good bacteria and all that?
I don't think they know that.
Do they?
No.
Really?
I don't think so. That's just my opinion. I don't think they know. I don't think the average person know that.
Knows what?
So it kills some good germs.
Yeah.
It's not all great.
Right. Not the average. Yeah, I would say the average person.
Especially not an 18-year-old.
Vipul, you didn't know that?
That it kills some good stuff too.
Yeah, it kills some good germs.
I knew that.
That are good for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you knew that there's like the what's the word? The fright, I don't. What's the word I'm looking for? People kind of get scared and kind of make a big deal, or I don't. Maybe it is a big deal. Maybe
boycott it.
No, not boycott, but like people are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
People are concerned about it, right? About overuse of it, of it creating super bugs and even stronger bacteria that are resistant to. Is this a real concern? Are you guys concerned about this?
No.
I use hand sanitizer when I have no choice. And if I have no choice, then I'm not worried about it.
I don't have a concern to that level or that degree that we're allowing some super bug to be created, but I don't use it that often. Like Phil said too, like it's the last thing if that's what's available.
What about I don't know if this is. I guess it's kind of related. So
I do wash my hands a lot though.
Oh, that's good.
If that's a different.
So before you bring up, I'm looking up the top 5. How do you call it? Top 5 dangers of hand sanitizer. One of them is antibiotic resistance. Okay. One of them is alcohol poisoning.
Alcohol poisoning.
What? How much fucking hand sanitizer are you?
The active ingredient in some hand sanitizer is usually a type of alcohol that acts as an antimicrobial that kills bacteria. The FDA and the Center of Disease Control recommend ethyl alcohol or isopropyl alcohol or a mix of both in a concentration of okay. I can read more, but
okay,
that's what they say. 3 is hormone disruption.
Hormone disruption, really?
There's some extreme.
The FDA says research shows triclosan may lead to hormonal disruption and cause bacterial to adapt to its antimicrobial properties, which creates more antibiotic resistant strains.
Man, that's so crazy.
Number 2, weaker immune system. It is what it is. And number 1, toxic chemicals.
Wow, this is coming from the FDA.
If your no, this is an article, but sometimes they refer to the FDA. If your hand sanitizer is scented, then it's likely loaded with toxic chemicals.
What?
Oh, that's
Companies aren't
great.
required to disclose the ingredients that make up their secret scent, and therefore generally are made from dozens of chemicals.
Oh wow.
All right, so we have our answer. I will never use hand sanitizer again. I'm gonna walk around with soap. Just like,
It sounds like it gets rid of your fingerprints and shit. Like sounds on another level.
that's acid.
I know that's what they make it sound like.
I mean, but you kind of feel that, don't you? Like when you use like quite a bit of hand sanitizer, it feels very like
It feels dried.
not even dry, just like very bare, almost like very like nothing's on there.
Bleached.
Yeah, you know. Like
What if
pure
it's like
cleanse.
created by aliens, and this is how they like take over? They slowly take
Oh
over.
my gosh. How old are
I
we?
knew this was gonna have some good what do you call it? Branches, whatever you want to call it. Great.
We'll
great
talk about
topic.
alien discussion next time, all right? But okay, so
Tangent.
what
Tangent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
he thought about that for a while. He was like, geometry tangent.
Cosine.
You guys will worry about this, I'm sure, when you guys have kids of your own, right? And those who are listening, I don't know if you guys, but maybe some people that work in the medical field, but antibiotics is like a really scary thing right now, right?
Yes, it is.
And Vipul, did you know about that?
I became allergic to a type of antibiotic.
Get the fuck outta here.
Over my lifetime.
No way. Who?
Yeah.
Which one?
Who?
What's his name?
Sam.
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 Screw you, Sam. If you're
Fuck
listening
Sam.
to this.
Come on, Sam.
Mhm.
It's the one with penicillin in it.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I think what is it called? It's like amoxicillin or something.
Right. Amoxicillin. Yep.
I've been taking that for a while, and then 5-6 years ago,
Mhm.
I took it once, and I started feeling really itchy.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and I couldn't pinpoint why that was. I didn't make the connection.
Yeah.
Like a year later, I got sick again. I got the same thing, and I felt even more like itchy.
Oh gosh.
I was like, all right. Then I made the connection actually,
Right.
and I looked it up, and they're like, some people to the extreme. If you don't notice it by like the 5th or 6th time, your skin could start peeling off.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, for those that are listening, now you guys know.
That's crazy.
If you get sick and you take medicine and you get a rash,
Yeah.
go back to the doctor.
Right.
Yes.
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 Yes. It's either the antibiotic or it's AIDS. So you gotta get it checked.
Yeah.
What?
Something extreme
What?
or acid.
Just get
Oh
it
my
checked.
goodness.
Just get it checked, Chris. That's all I'm saying.
But anyways, antibiotics. Garrett has an ear infection and he's got like this virus thing, and this is his 3rd or 4th ear infection, and every time he gets the ear infection, he has to go on antibiotics, and we hate giving him antibiotics, right? Because I don't know if you guys know, but like the antibiotics, I think I saw this on a Netflix show or something, right? But the way they explained it is like, you're in this, here's this genome, this here's all your good bacteria and there's bad bacteria, right? And you got to kill these bad bacteria, right? So you get these antibiotics,
Mhm.
right? And what they said is it's kind of like a bomb. It just goes off and it kills everything. It's like a hand sanitizer for your gut, right? Your immune system, right? So you're killing off the bad bacteria, but you're also killing all these good bacteria, right? And what happens is these bacteria are now starting to get a resistance to these antibiotics, right? So more than allergies, a lot of people go through these things where it's like you try amoxicillin, right? And you're still sick. So you try different antibiotics. It's another penicillin or whatever. And then you're still sick. And it's just repeatedly bombing your freaking system over and over. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
And-
why I've actually,
and
since that
also-
episode, I've started taking more vitamins
Uh-huh.
and just preventative stuff.
Oh, you've
Yes.
seen this episode.
Yes.
Oh, I've
Oh,
N-
what,
no.
what? Oh, since your episode of your.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Not,
I thought you were talking about the Netflix
not
show.
a Netflix episode. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you get prescribed antibiotics,
Yeah.
you are supposed to, even if you feel better,
Take all of
Yeah.
it.
finish it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you
I
know why
didn't
that
know.
is, right?
Yeah, because you want to kill it.
Well, kill
you
it
don't- if you don't
completely
finish
so
it-
that they don't get a resistance to that. And it's like
Right, you have to completely get rid of it.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they can
they
get
get
a
stronger.
resistance to that one.
Yeah.
It's like immune system.
Yeah.
Right. We get a vaccine. We get a little bit of measles. Right. Our immune system goes, "Oh, what is this?" Right. Kills it off. Right?
Learns
but,
how to fight
But
it.
they go, "Oh, now I know what this is."
Right.
It's the same thing, right?
Right.
If you don't kill those the bacteria off, then they're gonna learn how to fight off that
Yeah,
antibiotics, right?
yeah. But
So
a lot of people don't know that,
Mhm.
and they don't follow. They don't follow that those directions.
see, I'm
so
married
that-
to a pharmacist, so I know all that.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I don't know if I want to make this generalization, but a lot of Americans go straight to pills before trying something else.
That's true too.
Pills. What do you mean, like Advil?
It
or
could be anything,
something?
right? So antibiotics could be a pill,
Right.
but they're looking for one fix,
A quicker fix.
a quick
yeah.
fix.
Yeah. That's true.
Man,
And that's
That-
why the pharmaceutical industry, not like there's actual good medicine, and then there's like they just come up with a pill for everything.
That's true. We're
Um,
very pill dependent.
like
Yeah.
this right here, we could talk about this for hours,
Yeah.
right? Pharmacy, pharmaceuticals.
I don't know
like-
if I can, but
Mm-hmm.
I can
Well,
listen for now.
Okay, so but moving on, I guess from or just I guess continue, but just to finish my story, right? This episode, right? It wasn't about antibiotics particular.
Mm-hmm.
It was about something called I think it's called phage, PHAGE, right? And what
Sound
these
shady already.
no. Well, we'll see.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of shitty, but you'll
Oh,
see why it's
shitty.
shitty. So what they are is they're like bacteria. So it's like if an antibiotic is a bomb, right? These phages are basically like snipers. They'll sit there and they'll just target the bad bacteria and just destroy it. Right? They literally go into the bacteria.
Does
and
it make that sound when they destroy?
I like to. I'm thinking like Galactica.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
pew pew pew.
Atari.
It's like, oh, I feel better.
Space Invaders.
But they what they do is they like attach to the bacteria and they write the DNA of the bacteria and just basically dissolves them, right?
Okay.
Problem is you have to find the exact specific phage for that bacteria.
Mhm.
That's the thing, right? And this could be the whole idea of this episode was about these, right? Was that this could be the answer to this antibiotic issue that we're having, that we're killing off so many good things and these bacteria are getting resistant to it. Like,
Right.
how do we fight it?
Right.
And the reason why I say it's shitty is because these phages are excavated in sewage, in like different dirt.
Oh, literally shitty.
literally shit, right? So they go to different sewages, right? And they'll scoop out shit and they'll extract all the phages there. And there might be a phage for a diffs bacteria. And they have to collect this database of a particular, you see what I'm saying? It's not just like, oh, let's just give this medicine for everything, right? We have to, let's get this specific, right?
Right.
So, one, there's databasing required. You have to, keep finding, new whatever. But two, it's not profitable, right? Because you have to make a drug for each single, strain of bacteria, right? So this is why pharmaceutical companies are not into this. They're not going to make money from this. But this could be the thing that saves us, right? And they even have like showed a case of like some guy who had a super bacteria, which like it was immune to everything. This guy was in a vegetative state, right? And then they gave him this phage, and boom,
Out.
just boom, just like that.
Cleared.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? He was
That's
the first.
crazy.
He was the first American to be cured by a phage.
It's crazy, and it's sad that because of money we're not making progress.
Man, I'm sure if you guys listen to this podcast, that would be a recurring theme to me, because I feel like the more as I get older, I feel like so much is driven by money, so much.
No, I was
Yeah,
actually
almost
just
everything.
I was thinking about this the other days. we're so stifled in our like how we're advancing.
Yeah.
We could be so much further ahead
Yeah.
if it wasn't for money and politics.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
people
slowing
forgot
it down.
to be good,
Right.
good
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
Capitalism, there's very bad parts to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's good and bad.
There's
but
good.
Yeah.
But it's like they'll do what makes more money over
Over the right thing to do.
the right, or like whatever's going to advance that faster.
Right. It's sad but true. I know we all know the saying, you know, money rules the world, but it's true in every aspect
Yeah.
of life. Whenever you look deep into anything, there's always money.
Mm-hmm.
That is a deciding factor, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was even reading, not reading, but like, I read about this before, that time changing and stuff like that. That was driven by money too.
Time changing.
Like I heard that, you know,
Time zones.
time zones, stuff like that.
Oh.
Apparently, there was a lot of companies behind that,
Yeah.
Wait,
I
time
think it
zones
is.
or the
like the changing clock.
No,
change your clock.
Day-
an
daylight-
hour,
daylight saving.
Daylight
Yeah,
saving.
daylight
That's
saving
right.
is the
Yeah.
word I'm looking.
That's right. It is, I think. And then God,
influences.
I heard
Mhm.
this story before. It was
Even go ahead.
I think it was something about like the productivity of work in like the daylight or something. It's something ridiculous.
And then some people even said like the you know, Halloween and chocolate and all that stuff. Like
Mhm.
it's some weird stuff. And then I was reading,
Valentine's Day is a totally
totally thing.
commercialized.
And I was reading, there was a study back in the 70s that was saying that sugar is like worse than salt or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going with this for years. And
Yes.
just recently,
They're
it
like
turns out that
sugar is
there
the
was like
worst.
there was some company that was behind that research,
Uh-huh.
and they had like they had stakes. They had stakes with some company, so they were pushing to basically make the other company look bad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a lot of like
It just show you like the lot of things that goes on behind the scenes. So you might read a thing like even scientific that's like, oh yeah, the science says this, but you don't know
Yeah.
like what was not taken into consideration just to push an agenda.
yeah,
Lobbyists.
Yeah.
like I the more as I mature, as I gain wisdom, right, realize you have to take a lot of things into context, especially this day and age,
Mhm.
right? Because everything is so instant, everything's so like in your face, like
Yeah.
boom, and so everyone's so quick to judge.
Mhm.
Everyone's like, boom, I have to
Right.
react to this, right?
Right,
Like
right.
this is the society we live in, right?
Right.
But if you just react like that, you know, sometimes
You
you
miss a
say
lot.
say something that you don't mean,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes
Not even sometimes. Most of the time,
Right.
you miss because it's rarely as simple as we make it look like. You know, especially like TV and because we need to be sensational. Like we have to like make it more dramatic, or we have to just like put it in your face. But when it's not, it's rarely like black and white. You know, it's
Yeah.
always it's like, you know, you gotta read a little bit more into it. You
Mhm.
know?
oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't believe anything anymore.
You have to educate yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to.
Even a good example is probably dumb and stupid, I know, but recently Chris Brown, right? You heard like he was like
This is
accused
dumb.
of rape, right?
Yeah. Recently,
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Everybody
In like
went-
Australia
he'd
or
already
something.
been-
No, it
wasn't
was in France.
Oh, France. that's right.
Everybody went crazy,
Yeah.
and then like it came out later like she was lying,
Yeah.
but everybody already like trashed Chris Brown. Like
Yeah,
here
it's
we
like,
go
oh, there you
again.
go.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's a loser. Like he hasn't learned, and then like, oh nah, she was lying.
yeah.
But like everybody already said all their opinion.
But-
That happened to Aziz. Like,
is this too?
yeah.
You know.
And I think this again goes kind of back to what you said about money and politics, right? You know, politics isn't helping here. You know what I mean? Everyone right now is so against each other. Everyone's at each other's throat. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That you like, yeah. Chris Brown, his track record is not good.
This
right?
record is
But
terrible.
you know, like I'm not gonna read a tweet or something on Facebook and be like, oh, it's like I'm gonna if I read it on like CNN or if I read it on some sort of like credible news source, right? That'll be like,
Even CNN. is
even
becoming,
then,
okay, all right, so maybe not CNN,
Mhm.
but you know, what I mean.
you might take it as okay that he's in jail, right? But I'm not gonna necessarily like find him guilty because they say he, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But if it came out that you know the he actually did something, then I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, right.
Yeah,
But
you know.
but yeah, you take the time to process
Due
it,
process.
right? let things play out
Yeah.
and just boom. Unless it's like
Yeah.
the Super Bowl and it's like, okay, that's what's done is done, right?
Right.
That's like react away.
Have you
Right.
noticed whenever we talk about anything, it goes back to social media somehow and the internet, and a lot of our issues
A lot of the issues stem from that right
trickles
now.
down to
Yeah.
like social media and the internet, and
Well,
the way we
think,
consume information.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's I think there's probably quite a few things that we're facing as far as obstacles or things that human beings have to get over.
Mm-hmm.
I think social media is one of them.
Big one.
Climate change is probably another one,
Mm.
right? AI, right?
Mm.
Like there's a lot of things that we probably have to but I think social media is really big. I think and the reason why I'm doing so much research is like I'm trying to think about like how am I gonna raise Garrett? How am I gonna raise our kids so they're not like this? And by like this meaning like that he has no self-esteem. He's just stuck into his phone and screen, and he's just you see what I'm saying? Like
It's a new challenge, and unlike other challenges, our parents didn't go through it. So we are literally the first generation that's dealing with this. So there's no rule book right now.
that's
so you
the
kind of have to
fascinating
figure it
thing
out.
about it.
And social media is in every aspect of our life. You can talk about sports, you can talk about science, you can talk about anything. Social media has his say in it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can you imagine?
It's hard not to avoid it.
Can you guys imagine like whatever years ago when we first made our first Facebook? Like just
I still remember 2004 sophomore year. I still remember.
I still remember being in your room.
Yeah, that's what I'm
just
talking about. 2004.
Like, ooh, this girl's cute.
Yeah,
like
I still
ooh,
remember.
cute. Like, who thought that we would have been like here now?
First of
You
all,
know
it took
what I
me years to even join.
Yeah,
It took me like 2 years.
No,
Maybe
for
a
me, I
year.
joined real quick. Yeah,
Huh?
but
Oh yeah, you joined
Yeah,
right away.
I joined right
You
away.
were like, there was a girl in biology class. I'm doing it just for her. I still remember.
I think he was right. I don't think that was. I don't think you made that up.
This is not hypothetical. I remember it was fall semester, sophomore year.
Wait, you did it or he did it for
He
that?
did it first,
Oh.
and there was a girl. I think in our biology class.
Yes.
And
Oh,
yeah,
man.
he had to do it. And then once he went in there, we started seeing other people we used to see on campus.
Yeah.
We're like,
Hey.
oh, and then you add them, and then they'll add you back, and it's like, oh, she added me back, so maybe there's a chance.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, social media didn't start from Facebook, right? There was social media before. It just
Yeah.
like Facebook blew up, right? They were saying that it really coincided with accessibility to smartphone and smartphone being cheaper and accessible to everyone, right? Because you really went from social media like MySpace
Yeah.
or
But guess
or
what?
AIM, right, on your
Friendster.
computer, right?
Just-
Friendster.
On your
Yeah.
computer.
Friends, Zenga.
Zanga. Oh my god! I can't believe you guys said that. That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
I was in my head thinking Zanga, but I'm like,
Again,
oh, they're
how
not
do I know about
Asian. There's
Zenga?
no way. You guys are-
Chris, and Zenga was freshman year. I already knew.
Yeah, that was freshman
all
year.
you ate. No offense, but
It
all
was
the Asians.
It was 100% Asian people, man.
Yeah. But I was gonna connect our topics here. Just like hand sanitizer, that's our generation.
We are.
Facebook was only, remember that, it was only college students.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was only college students. So
Yeah.
it's literally us that it started with.
Social media was born during our
Yes, it was.
generation.
Yes, it was.
So,
So two things we learned today: hand sanitizer.
No,
and
it's
social media.
but that's what I'm saying. The
Okay.
social media really was born. Was it really born in our generation?
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Yes.
yeah.
Was it? What do you call AOL?
Don't, I mean,
What about- what
don't
do you
go
call AIM?
connecting it to like internet and stuff like that. and
Yeah.
going that
Oh.
far back.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Instant
when the
message is already-
platform.
I heard
guess
an
it's social
interview
media.
with Jack Dorsey, right? It might have been on Joe Rogan podcast, right? And he was saying basically like the whole idea for Twitter. He's the CEO for Twitter, if you guys didn't know.
Mhm.
He's the one of the CEOs. He said the whole idea for Twitter was like kind of like text messaging or like the AIM statuses just to the world.
To the world.
To the world.
You bring
Right.
up a good point, though. Is instant message social media?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
If something is
how is
purely
AIM not social media?
no, but
it's-
it may not be.
it's
You got profiles, you have statuses, you check statuses. That was
Yeah, but
absolutely.
there's a
you
difference
can check
between
status on there.
You check the away messages. You check their
Away
profiles.
messages. That's true.
yeah, but
Yeah.
once you're offline, that's it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So I think they'll change what made social media really what it is now is the accessibility to smartphones, the
So to go back
technology
to my question, is
make it.
instant message social media?
No,
It has to be.
it's more like a
It's
form
tw-
form
okay.
of communication.
Then what is Twitter?
That's public.
It doesn't matter. It's a
That's
form of
mass-
communication. That's a communication. You're communicating to the world as opposed to communicating group. It's
I don't
very.
know. I have to think about it, man.
It's like
Because
so-
how is instant message? I'm sorry. How is instant message different than like text messaging?
No, I was gonna say instant message is like, okay, so an away message is like a voicemail for when you talk on the phone, right? So it's just like that. It's
Okay.
you're talking on the phone, but you're using words to talk, and you still have an away message like a voicemail.
What about profiles?
There wasn't profiles like that. Like Facebook has profiles.
Well,
It was just like your name and
Right.
your away message.
no,
And
you
that
could
was
do
only
whatever.
visible when you were online too.
You could do
Yeah.
whatever, and then you could put links to it, right? And the other thing is, don't tell me you haven't done this, right? Don't tell me you haven't used an away message to kind of send a message to someone else,
I tell you
right?
what I use.
And that's what
I tell you
social
what I
media
use
is.
an
You
away
would never
message.
do that.
I use an away message
To get a girl
to
in
get a girl
biology.
to click on it and do a survey, and then find out she had a crush on me.
Wait a
Oh my
minute.
God.
Wait a minute. This happened?
Okay, it happened. It's an inside story. It
Oh my
happened,
God.
But it didn't happen to me. It happened to Tejas. It was Tejas.
Oh, okay, time out. Before
Little
I
Tages
think-
or big Tages?
Big Tejas. Before we
I-
push him under the bus.
Yeah, so I think he'll be okay with it, but we have to be careful who we push people under the bus, right? Like if we send this
Throw
out
them
to
under the
everyone,
bus?
Alright.
yeah, throw them under the bus, right? Right. So I'm just saying, maybe next time we just go
Okay.
nameless.
Nameless.
right?
Let's go nameless.
But yeah, Tejas. Oh my God, that was the funniest thing.
Right after you say that, you were like, but yeah, Tages.
He's like, we should push Chubby under the bus.
No,
So
that's
anyway, what Tejas did.
Tages
Oh my
Basur
God.
at
Yeah,
address.
yeah,
Do you, Vipul, do you remember back in the day when we were like in middle school, right? Where you would click on like a link on a way message or on a profile, right?
Uh-huh.
And they'll have like this questionnaire, right? A questionnaire about like, oh, are you compatible with this person, right? And it'll be like, enter your name, your email address, who your current crush is, how long you like them, what you like them, just like all sorts of like personal details, right? And the whole idea is like, oh, are we compatible? Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's like eHarmony before eHarmony.
Almost.
Almost, because what happened was it was actually not to see if you're compatible. It just sent all that information to that
To
person.
that person.
Yeah.
Right?
If you use her link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like
Are
a,
you
a
DTF?
hoax.
No, it
I
wasn't
don't
like
think
that.
DTF existed back
No, I
then.
don't think so.
Not the acronym at least, right? So he sat there and he
It's almost like a stalking. It's to catch stalkers.
I never saw this.
it's
Okay.
yeah. So there was this girl he liked. He clicked on her profile, filled out the survey, clicked on it, and it comes up and then basically says, "Oh, thanks for filling out the survey. We sent all that information to this person." He was like, "What?"
She got exposed.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you like someone, you're gonna be on their profile. You're gonna click on links, and that was a trap.
That's when
Yeah,
Tages left the country and started learning how to do Chinese dancing and
I think it was about that time actually. Chris, wasn't it about that time?
my
It was
Oh my
around that
God.
time, wasn't
It
it?
was like Toby jumped over the fence
It
and
was.
went to
That
Costa
was his
Rica.
Toby- that was his Toby moment.
That was his
I
Toby.
just realized
Oh my
that.
gosh, we all have to have Toby moments.
Oh my
We're gonna make that
God.
a
Left the
thing.
country.
He didn't leave the country. He went to New York.
Yeah. All right. You
Um,
know what? I
I remember-
take it back.
I remember also that we spent quite a few hours really trying to think about what his next move should be. Just like, remember we
We
talked
did
about
that.
like should we message her?
Should you leave the country?
But the thing is, the
Jump the
thing is that he didn't get the screen name from her, right? He got it from someone else or something, right? That's why he couldn't
That's
message
the
her.
thing about AIM. Like you can add someone without them knowing, right?
Yeah. Well, you can just message someone. It's like texting someone you know. Right? So if I didn't know you and I texted you, I'd be like, "Hey, Phil, this is the girl that sat behind you from
Right.
biology class," right?
Right.
You can still communicate, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think he was supposed to know her screen name, right?
That's funny. That's really funny.
And I think eventually what we had to do was we just like messaged her on Facebook and they actually met, I think.
Yeah,
And they ended up
were
becoming
cool.
friends.
Yeah, they were
or
really
something.
cool.
It was crazy.
Yeah, but it's stages, What do you expect?
Yeah.
No,
right?
but the more we talk about it, Vipul, originally I was on your side. I think AIM was is social media.
It started like it started
It
the
is.
roots of
I think
everything.
it is.
right?
It's just a baby.
They just didn't know what social media was back then,
Back
so it
then.
wasn't called social media.
Right.
I think social media.
But even
now,
if you define social media, I think that counts.
I
Okay.
think social media, the way
But it was
we
at a
see
baby
it,
level.
Mhm.
Baby
yeah,
level.
I think the
baby
social
level.
media that we see it is with phone. It has to be the
It
phone.
was an aspect.
It was a
of social-
phone.
It was.
The fact
It
that we
was.
can
It was a
have it
very-
around with us every time to
Yeah.
check it whenever
Yeah.
you want, right?
Yeah.
That's why. Social
I think the
media is so
biggest difference is the scale. Because everything we do on Twitter, like you say, I'm saying what you're saying, is aimed at a bigger scale. AIM is how many friends? 10, 20, 30 friends? But Facebook and Twitter, now you're talking about hundreds and thousands of
But let me ask you this:
friends,
so
quote
let's say if AIM, okay, let's say if smartphones didn't exist. Let's say we all had flip phones, right? And everything we were doing on our computer, right? You think Twitter would still exist right now? No. You know, the reason why Twitter works, I think, is because it's like a reaction, instantaneous reaction, and you can do it real quick. That's why you're not gonna sit there and have a real thought out process of like, maybe I'll say this and record this or whatever. No, it's like, oh shit, the Patriots won their fucking 8th Super Bowl again. Fuck the Patriots and their cheating ass hashtag. Fuck you, blah blah blah. Blah, right? That's the power behind Twitter, right? And if you don't have that on a phone, like no one's gonna be like, oh fuck, the Patriots won. Let me turn on my computer, boot this motherfucker up, and you know what
No,
I mean?
you're right. And that's true for all social media, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Instagram.
So social media, like the technology that we have with social media, just launched it, but we just didn't see the whole shitload of repercussions that are following. We're just like, what do we do now?
Mhm.
Like, what do we do now?
Yeah, it's a little out of control right now.
I was trying to think of like.
Ooh. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was trying to think.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, so like if you think about it, back then we didn't know where technology was going to go, right? So we also, because we didn't have like, let's say, the computing power that we do now, we didn't know what was possible. So I'm like trying to think, let's like think ahead, be like, there's stuff that we don't know is possible
Oh,
because
absolutely.
we haven't
Oh,
gotten
absolutely.
the computing power
Oh, absolutely.
to get there yet.
And that's
So
that's
what types of things do you think like are there in the near future that could be possible? We don't have
AI.
Self-driving cars.
yeah, automation, AI.
but that you're talking about all the stuff that's already out right now.
well, it's not out, but it's gonna be the
Vipul's like,
frontier,
well, I
right?
got it already.
It's like
That's
social
like
media.
10
right?
years ago,
Yeah.
guys.
That's like 2 months ago when I got it.
No, but that's like social media, right? Everyone had AIM and whatever, and they were like, "Oh, this is cool." The internet, blah blah. No one thought it was a big deal. Yeah, it got big with phones and whatever, and then it got to where it is, right? But that could happen with automation. Yeah, everyone starts buying cars and it's getting safer, or whatever. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a side effect where people are, I don't know, late to everywhere because they're always sleeping in their cars or something. I don't know whatever it is. Like like
Actually, that show,
Black Mirror
Black Mirror, does a very good job of
what could be
picking
a
those
thought.
types of topics. Yeah,
Yeah, actually, it
They do.
does.
Right.
They do. It really
very
does.
near
show.
future.
Great show.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Great
Oh,
show.
damn, that's
No, that's me. That's me. That's me,
it's
right?
everyone.
Oh, it is. It's Omar.
What does he want?
What's the hot topic for tonight?
What's the hot topic?
Hand sanitizer. Someone just.
No, but one
What we
topic that
Go ahead.
you brought up, Chris, 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure we're gonna get into it today because I think it's a big topic. Is censoring in social media.
Censoring. That's big.
That's big,
That's big.
and
That's
and that's a
big.
dangerous
Well,
thing.
let's.
We can table that.
We'll
because
table it. Let's
you
table it.
can't
But
just
let me just
5
get
minutes that topic.
let me get a quick reaction to. I don't know if you guys heard the news, but YouTube and YouTube being owned by Google. Wait, Google, yeah, Google, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They're starting to ban content that has like misinformation, right? saying like the flat Earth theories. These people were saying like
Okay.
they're
Are
banning.
you saying this so we can get started on this? Because by saying it, now we talking. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I just
That's the
I bring
censorship I'm
I bring
talking
that
about.
I bring that up because this was like literally like a week ago or 2 weeks.